So in this example, we're going to show you how to use a map component. Now, there are a lot of cool things you can do with a map component. We're not going to go into everything right now. We're just going to go through the basics. So what I did was I created a column called map column. Okay. I added a timer in here, but that was for something else. Just ignore the timer. I dragged a map in. So if I were to type in like map in the add components, you can go ahead and drag this map in here. And if I look, I'll see in my invisible components, there should be a map that shows up in there. Actually, you know what? Map isn't an invisible component. Map is a regular component. So ignore that I said invisible components because you can see a map. All right. So I dragged a map in here, and we also have a button right here that says location button. All right. So it's going to be able to track my location. Also note that in the map, what I did was I set the height to 300. The map naturally shows up, I believe, a little bit smaller. So I set the absolute height to 300. You can click there and click on absolute height. Relative size just means the size compared to the screen. So if I want to be 50% of the screen, it can be 50%, but not all screens are the same size. So you can have like an iPad screen and an iPhone screen. They're entirely different sizes. If you wanted to fill 50% on both of them, you can. Or if you just want one absolute size, just know this is 300 pixels. All right, so that's how much that fills in. And then a location button. And let's look at the blocks for this. So I'm going to click on blocks. I'm going to scoot down to where it says map. Only worry about this one right here. We're also going to talk about this location button in a second. All right, so map one. Whenever I long press on the map, so imagine I have a map open right here and I have a location and I press for a while. It means just a long press. What I'm doing is in map one, okay, and if you look down here in the components, right, you have map one. In map one, call add a marker. So I'm adding a location marker. It's going to track my latitude and longitude, and I just pull this latitude and I drop it there. I'm going to pull this longitude and drop it there, okay, wherever I long pressed. And you can add a title and description if you want as well. There's also a button in my app that was called location button. Whenever I click this button, what it's going to do is I went ahead and dragged a location sensor on there. It senses where my location is. So that's something else cool that we have in here is you can use a location sensor. Okay, so in the components, I grabbed a location sensor. I typed in location sensor and that popped up. So if I go back to my blocks, that's going to actually find my physical location. It's going to ask to use your GPS on your phone. Most people say yes to it without even looking and realizing what they're doing. But that's what we're actually going to be using here, this location button. So when they click the button, what it does is it adds a marker of exactly on the map, this map that we're using. It's going to add a marker and use the latitude and longitude of your location. You can add a title and description there as well if you want. So that's just a simple app that we made that allows you to click somewhere on a map and see your location. Click somewhere on a map and make a marker there, but also set your location on a map and add a marker there as well.